Hello, everyone. This is Andrew Johnson, and I wanted to present my own character analysis of a character that I think is very important to the play I reviewed, which is Peter Pan, which is one of my favorite tales and one that means a lot to me, and I thought it would be interesting to see a new take on the story. But aside from that, I've come to present this character, and as a segue into my content, I did want to mention that everyone knows that a story requires a good conflict in order to be relevant and something to drive it. Therefore, every action in a story has an equal negative or opposite reaction that could happen or might happen later in the story. There are two sides to every coin. Therefore, every hero needs a villain. So the character I wanted to present on, of course, is Captain Hook, one of my all-time favorites. So looking into Captain Hook as a character, a lot of times people write him off as this Saturday morning cartoon, twirl his mustache and be defeated villain. And in some ways, he is that, and I can agree with that. But altogether, as soon as he comes on screen in any form of media, but of course mainly in the play that I watched, he is already a menacing presence. You know who's coming on the screen. He's the leader. He's revered by his crew, and he's always in the middle of the pack. And his presence, his booming voice, is already letting you know that this guy is important. This guy is the villain, and we also look at his evil demeanor. He's got this bright red jacket to let you know that I'm important, and this stylish clothing, this extravagant hat. But he's also got this evil mustache and this evil hook that he's got to show that he's got class, but he's still the evil guy, the villain. And of course I already mentioned his booming voice, and just he acts evil, he acts threatening and intimidating. And this is also characterized by his true hatred for Peter Pan, which he constantly brags about and constantly is a cause for many of the actions he does. So, and going into his actions as far as how he drives the plot, he is always and constantly scheming, and always telling his crew his next plan and singing about it and how evil he truly is. But it truly takes action whenever he first captures Tiger Lily and wants to eradicate her and her tribe. But Peter saves her and steps in and foils Captain Hook's plan. However, this gives him time to hatch another scheme and to wait for a perfect moment to strike Peter Pan. And the perfect moment comes whenever Wendy, John, and Michael take the Lost Boys and want to return home, and Hook captures them all when they least expect it, and then leaves poison for Peter. Of course, this doesn't end up working out, but it definitely draws Peter out to fight Hook, and this is what he constantly wants. And Hook fights Peter till the end with his crew, yet he loses and is foiled once again and is eventually defeated and eaten by the crocodile. However, he does accomplish his goal through his actions. Yet I also want to take another deep look into his goals. Therefore, why does he do all this? Well, it's not just because he's a villain. It's because he loves the glory and the wealth that comes with it. He wants the power. He wants to be the bad guy. He wants to be feared and respected throughout, and he wants people to know his name and know his power. And of course, his crew already respects him, and he wants to drive the Lost Boys and the Indians and Peter Pan himself away. He hates them. He wants to take the wealth and plunder Neverland for himself. Yet it's also very personal for him with Peter Pan, as I've kind of mentioned before, because he truly hates Peter Pan because he's the reason that he has a hook, and Pan is never intimidated by Hook. He constantly challenges him, and Hook cannot stand this because he's used to being feared. So he sees Peter as just the opposite of him, and a challenge to his authority and his power, and of course to get back his arm and to get his life back. Therefore, and to, of course, ignore a pesky crocodile. Yet his ulterior motive in the story, and especially in the play interpretation I watched, is that he wants love. He wants motherly love from Wendy, and he wants that for his crew. And it's kind of sad whenever you think about it that there's still a tinge of humanity left in him. And even though he wants to be the big bad guy, he also wants love like all of us. So we can somewhat relate to him, and he ultimately fails at achieving this, and fails to destroy Peter Pan. So in conclusion, Captain Hook did fail, but he was still a powerful and interesting villain throughout the story and the driving force in the conflict. And this cannot be denied by anyone. Everyone knows Captain Hook and his power, his presence, and therefore Captain Hook has become a staple, and he in a way achieved what he wanted with respect and power. And even though, like I said, he failed, he still is this memorable character that we can all relate to, and this complex character that makes a truly good villain, and like that every story needs. And that is why Captain Hook is one of my favorites. But I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your time.